Hi, Spout Loreans. Abdul here with a quick pre-show announcement. If you haven't heard, this coming Monday, August 26th, is the day that we will be launching the first season of our bonus show, Mallbrats, on a brand new public feed with newly scored and remastered episodes. Launch week is going to be pretty huge, with a brand new episode dropping every day. And we're also doing a collab with our friend, the incredibly talented artist, Casey Golden, where she'll be drawing the Cool Treat Kids in her own amazing style. Launch weeks are hugely important for new shows, so we're asking all our listeners to please go and subscribe to the new feed, which is live right now. And when that first episode drops, listen, rate, review, all that good stuff. We genuinely love this show so much, and we think you'll love it too. We're also going to be doing a bunch of launch week giveaways for listeners of the new show, where we'll be giving away custom Spout Lore merch packages from our friends at Fantasy by Numbers, with amazing pins and ornaments and coasters, all with custom Spout Lore art on them. And also, one lucky listener will win the one-of-a-kind Cool Treat Kids character art that Casey is creating. If you'd like to enter to win Casey's gorgeous artwork or any of the amazing merch packages that we're giving away, all you have to do is click the link in the show notes and head over to the new feed and subscribe. Then, when the first episode drops on Monday, rate and review 5 stars or more, and make sure you sign the review with your Discord or social handle so we can find you to give you your amazing Spout Lore memorabilia. From everyone here at Spout Lore, thank you so much. We hope you like the new show.
Spout Lore is publicly funded by listeners like you. Go to spoutlore.com for more quality family programming like Arthur and Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. And get special limited edition PBS tote bags.
You hear that, Fred Rogers? We ripped off your shit and we put it on our Patreon.
We shit talk a lot of people. I will not stand for any Mr. Rogers slander on this
I'll fucking
podcast.
drop kick Mr. Rogers' grave in the face.
And you know
Mr.
what?
Rogers is cool, but fuck you, Mrs. Rogers. She was a real son of a gun.
You know what? Mr. Rogers would let you drop kick him and he'd be like, "Are you okay?
Did that make you feel better?
You're being really violent. Why?"
Gather round, friends, let me tell you a tale of 3 heroes, noble and bold. A brute, a druid, and a thief who is but 9 years old. You know them by name, you know them by deed. Their quests are famously daring. So here I sit, singing to you an adventure that is worth sharing. Tuck is the brute, he knows not his home, he loves to sing and fight. Fingers half elf, he shifts his shape and wields a spear with great might. Billy's a thief, his tiny size does mask the largest heart. Best and brightest they may not be, but their friendship outweighs their smarts. So gather round, friends, and listen close, for the tale's about to start.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Spout Lore. I'm your game master, Shawn O'Hara, and I'm thinking about how in that song there's one guy just playing the tambourine. Joining me as always, playing Tacoma Dome the Barbarian, Abdul Aziz.
Hello, everybody.
Playing Ving, the half-elf druid, Paul Oppers.
Hi, guys.
And playing Fat Billy, the halfling thief, Jessica Ty.
Good morning.
When last we left our heroes, they had entered the tower, the glacial retreat of Wizard Addernack Allwater, setting up camp in the foyer.
As you do.
As you do.
I mean, that is 100% our move.
Yeah, you guys have consistently lived in the sitting rooms.
Totally. You go into a fancy place. This is the nicest, most deluxe room I've ever been in.
Yeah.
I'm never leaving.
It's a little cramped, but it's beautiful.
There's a bowl with keys and shoe mats.
This fully betrays our dumb kid personas actually in real life, where we were the kind of kids that would walk in and be like, "What a beautiful home you have."
Ooh.
It's like, this is our mud room.
And a beautiful mud room it is.
Mud room.
I slept in the mud room of my house for years.
Whoa.
For real. Yeah, 100%. As a kid, it was great. I loved it. I had a bunk bed with no lower bunk, but like a desk underneath. I felt so cool.
That's pretty cool.
Until I was 6'2" and like 180 pounds, climbing up a rickety bunk bed.
Like King Kong.
Yeah, at a certain point when you're a really large teenager, you don't need a ladder on your bed anymore. You just kind of lean forward.
Yeah, you're just so horny. Your
my
giant
God.
bone zone pops you up there.
Every night, every day, your parents are like, squeak it. We got to get rid of Sean's bunk bed.
It's creaking too much.
There's so much squeaking.
I have to tighten those screws every day.
Every time he wakes up, his bed's like 4 feet further away from the wall. It's like,
Because the legs are so tall, any movement that happens up there
just jiggles
Walks
it away.
across.
In the foyer, with their new friend Victor, the liar wolf, that they had shown kindness to, thus bonding him forever, because apparently no one had ever been kind to Victor.
Yeah, he's a rescue.
Well, we like to think that he rescued us from the time tunnel that broke our minds. They just hung out for a little bit, got some rest, took a little nap, and during the night's watch, Tuck checked out the bookcase in the foyer with a brand new copy of a Dirk Adventureman novel that he hadn't read before, and was swiftly attacked by all of the books on the shelf. The party did battle with...
God, that's the last time Tuck's going to trust a book. Yeah. You already were weary.
There's some kind of metaphor for sure, is what Tuck says.
They survived the book battle, moving further into the building and discovering a dining room with a beautiful centerpiece of flowers that they swiftly discovered were not planted in anything, but perfectly alive. Billy, of course, at this point, ate one and found that he was vivified, revived in a way. His biology singing with the energies of the flower, giving him one additional bonus health point against my better judgment. So, of course, the rest of the party began eating flowers. So they're all fully healed and then some.
Yeah.
Then next, the party continued their explorations of the tower, discovering a ballroom. Upon entering, music began to play, and as if from the very ice itself, exact copies of the party knit themselves together from what appeared to be true flesh and bone, asking if they would like to dance, and upon refusal, they were attacked very quickly by their dance partners until Ving convinced everybody to dance with them. Maggie did some square dancing with her partner. Perel, with his Perel, did a beautiful, emotional
Napoleon Dynamite style.
Oh,
Dance-
interpretive.
dance team. And Tuck tried to kiss himself, thinking the only way to solve this crisis was to make out and potentially make love to himself.
That was the end goal.
I mean,
I
of
think
course.
so.
It wasn't the goal, but I was willing to go all the way.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I'll do anything for you guys. Anything.
I'll even fuck myself in the ass.
All right.
No, I'm going to do mouth stuff first.
I like the Tuck.
Straight for ass.
You solved the dance puzzle. You just had to dance until through the ice, movement was seen on the floor below. The shadows light. Ving and Billy booked for the door. With Perel, Tuck smashed through the floor as it attempted to heal itself, crashing into the workshop below the room as a door slammed on the other side. The party did a chase down the stairs, kind of chasing each other, but also chasing the person that they were chasing. Arriving in a room surrounded by shelves covered in mysterious items. Tuck, arriving first, found the room empty of people, and then immediately said, I'm going to smash everything in this room if you don't come out right now. Maggie talked him down. The party arrived. Billy, in an attempt to find the hidden pursuee, took Perel with him into the fairy realm using his new move, Midnight Waltz, upon which Perel was almost immediately overwhelmed by the energy he could feel. Billy continued to...
Creaming his magical genes.
Oh, he fucking creamed him hard, dude. Thalmically creaming his thalmic genes.
Yeah, because this is a hot spot too. So this is like drinking from a fire hose.
So actually, that's another thing that
cream.
Just sucking cream out of a hose.
Oh, yum.
Oh my God, Billy, no. Get away from that hose, Billy.
Jessica's never been more on board.
Cream hose. Billy sent him back to his body, but remained in the ferry so they could keep looking around, and Perel found himself wandering over to a rolled up piece of canvas that he unrolled, exclaiming, "Morris?" And the party saw a portrait of a wizard, presumed to be Morris Wadge, which then blinked. And that is where we find ourselves now.
Billy is still in the fairy realm.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Perel is holding a portrait that has blinked, and the portrait starts to shake in his hands.
Whoa.
And kind of like flap a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And he drops it. He backs away and drops it on the ground.
Whoa.
Oh, is that piece of cloth too heavy? Ving says and goes and picks it up.
And Perel doesn't know, like, as you're going to pick it up, the portrait starts to, in like Looney Tunes when someone gets like crushed by a safe
Yeah.
and they're all 2D and they start to lift themselves up.
At the end of Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Completely flat. The man in the portrait begins to lift up from the canvas and starts to like
Origami into a man.
unfold. Yeah. Like his
Ooh.
limbs start to extend.
Ugh, creepy.
And then there's like slices of him that are filling in behind.
Oh,
So
Wow,
he's
like a
becoming
fax.
3D.
Yeah. He starts to becoming like 3-dimensional.
Chuck pukes.
Oh my God.
And within, I don't know, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, there is now a man standing before you. He's on the shorter side, probably about 5'6", 5'8", but broad.
You said he was really burly.
He's stocky.
Yeah.
And he's wearing previously very fine robes that are now tattered, maybe like a kind of burgundy and gold, sort of like paisley-ish.
Yeah.
Like kind of floral and gilt,
Mm-hmm.
but really tattered. And then he's got big mutton chops. He's kind of balding on his head, maybe. Like it's receding. He's got a high, like, widow's peak.
Oh, cool.
And then no mustache or beard.
What's the hairstyle?
I think like bullish, like an old king, like
Oh,
Henry
yeah.
VIII that
Yeah.
kind of goes down and
Totally.
tucks in.
I'm imagining it like swept back for the most part.
Yeah.
Like kind of long, almost like down to his shoulders.
Like he's been living rough for a little while?
yeah.
Okay.
Like maybe this was a really nice haircut 2 years ago.
But he still has the time to shave the mutton chops out.
Apparently,
Yeah.
apparently. And Perel is just standing there slack-jawed.
Tuck is being very quiet because it's a big moment.
Am I still in the fairy world or can I
Yes.
pop back in?
Oh, you can pop back in, yeah.
Yeah, I'll pop back in.
Yeah, totally.
Mhm.
So you...
That makes sense if something is
Yeah, there's a-
unfolding in the room.
There's a big disturbance in the
Yeah.
shadow world.
You saw Tuck throw up.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I should get back there.
Yeah, so you...
Oh, I have the mints.
You like... you.
Shit. Oh, I've got the Mentos on
He's
me.
going to need some help. So yeah, like the energy that Billy saw in the fairy world on the
Mhm.
portrait has like blossomed into this like bright
There's like
torch.
shards of light.
I like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. And these spectrums
Mhm.
unfolding.
Mhm.
Ooh.
And now
Like,
it's
that
this,
was weird.
it's this like it's like this glowing torch now. Almost what Perel looked like when he was here, but now he's quite dimmed in his
Mhm.
material form. And he says, "Hello, Betty." And Perel
Oh.
steps forward, kind of like shell-shocked.
Perry?
Tuck starts crying.
Perry, this name is so
Yeah.
sweet. I've never thought of, I didn't know we could give him a nickname.
Oh yeah, Billy has big anime tears.
And Perel,
We all had them
Yeah.
together.
We all
behind you guys are just
In
hugging.
silence.
The end of a
Yeah.
George Lucas movie looking at these people meet again.
crying silently.
Yeah.
Quivering lips.
And Perel is like gasping almost. He's like, and then he just balls up his fist and he punches Morris right in the nose.
No.
Whoa.
He's just like, "You son of a bitch. You left me. You left us." And he's like trying to grab Morris.
Tuck
Grab
goes,
him.
Tuck goes forward and he holds Morris.
Just like wraps around Perel to hold Morris down.
Yeah,
Tuck,
nice.
it's like he goes, it looks like he's going for Perel to stop him, but then he holds Morris's shoulders and pins him to the
I
ground.
imagine-
Perel's between you and Morris. Get him.
I imagine Tuck is like pretty like gentle and businesslike about it too.
Yeah.
Like just there you go,
Okay,
Perel.
buddy. Here you go.
Yeah.
Here you
Do
go.
whatever you need to do.
Let Uncle Tuck help you. And yeah, Perel feeds him a couple more.
And it
Whoa.
goes slow motion, pink haze, and I need you now tonight. Slap.
And Morris, very notably, is not really fighting back. He gets slugged a couple times, and then Perel stops and grabs him by the front of his robes and pulls him up and hugs him and just holds and he's like shaking.
Tuck is also holding Morris. So now they're hugging inside of Tuck's arms.
And then Tuck like hugs them both.
Can we go? I want to go hug. I'm going to go inside hug.
Okay. So Morris emerged from a portrait, from a 2-dimensional plane to get punched in the face 3 times. And now he's being hugged by people he doesn't know.
Okay, I go hug. Well, I go hug. I hug Ving's leg.
Yeah. Who's on the back of Morris?
Yeah. And Perel's got his face like buried in Morris's like neck, and he's just hugging him so hard.
Mm-hmm.
Just breathing it in.
Yeah. And then he pulls back and he kisses Morris, and he just looks at him like he's just looking in his face. And then Perel's like, all right, you guys can get off.
Do you want me to?
No, just stop. Just
Okay,
get
I'll
off.
sit
Yeah,
Want some
Ving
privacy?
is like also leaning with his eyes closed with his lips out, like, I guess we're kissing now.
Is this normal now? Is this a normal part of your life?
Yes.
It's our normal.
It's our normal,
This is normal.
I'd like to get up if that's all right.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll get off. It's good to meet you.
Just
Mr. Wadge, big fan.
of course you would be, wouldn't you? And
Love this guy. Love his attitude.
and
Billy's like kind of shy, and he's like, do you guys want adult time?
Mm-hmm.
Should I go wait out in the hallway?
no, Billy, no. I think everybody has some questions.
Well,
I know
you
I've got some fucking
I
questions.
think you've mostly got questions. And
Yeah, if you've got fucking questions, we don't have to be in the room when you ask them.
Hey, it's understandable. I can answer any questions you want.
Are you alone here?
Yes.
Are you telling the truth?
Yes. Why would I lie?
I don't know, you're a wizard.
Oh, because I'm a wizard, I lie. That's what you're suggesting.
well, we're also here looking for someone else. We didn't really expect to find you.
Who are you looking for all water?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Good luck.
What's that supposed to mean?
I've been here for weeks. Not a soul until the 3 of you.
Why are you even here?
Oh, yeah, that's a great question, Tuck. That's a great question. How are you here? It's difficult. Could we go somewhere maybe more comfortable?
We could go back to the fanny pack. We have that, right?
Oh yeah. Billy takes it off of his waist and he starts setting it up.
Morris sees the fanny pack and laughs. I can't. Where did you get this?
Where did we get this?
We found it in a treasure worm, and then a bird gave it to us.
Treasure worm. Wow. I mean, what do you think? It's beautiful.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's home to us.
Yeah, it's the nicest tent I ever stayed in.
Yeah.
I was gonna mass produce these things, but this ended up only being a proof of concept.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
And then Tuck realizes that it's fucked up inside.
Oh yeah, we kind of took liberties.
Yeah.
Jess, we lost track of it for a while, and some assholes got in there and really did a
Yeah.
number on it.
Oh, okay, no.
You guys stay here.
Yeah, you guys should hang out here, and we'll go
Yeah.
inside.
Yeah, you don't want to be in here. It's got a lot of things written on the walls.
I've seen it.
Oh, right, you were in it.
I wasn't sure who had it, so I didn't stick around for long, but I did take a quick visit. Let's go in.
Okay.
I've had enough of this ice. It's not. I don't love it thematically. It's not my proudest work, but let's head inside.
Okay.
My face is getting cold. Not so much on the sides here, but right in the bottom.
Right in the chin and the nose area, right underneath the nose. And, a few minutes later, you guys are kind of arrayed. Morris is kind of walking around with his hands on his hips, just like, yeah, this is great, just beautiful. And he pats like the lintel on the fireplace and adjusts the portrait and touches the safe and shit like that.
I like that it looks a little bit different here. Things are like, it's a more roomy because he created, and he has mastered space, so space is different. The spaces that he's created are slightly different
that's
when he's
cool.
in them.
Space
That makes
acts
sense.
different around him.
Because
Yeah.
it would like know what he wants.
Totally.
And he would know how to tell it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like he could walk towards the danger wall and it just like fades a little bit
Yeah.
because he wants a little extra space.
Room gets more comfortable.
And when he pats the safe, it like automatically repairs itself because
Wow.
we totally
broke it.
fucked it
yeah.
up.
Did you put that terrible watch robot centipede sentry
Oh,
thing?
the centipede. Oh, you tried to get in. Oh, I see. Didn't you use the key?
What key?
What key?
I left a key in the safe.
There's no key in there.
Porel, did you not get... You found the letter. It wasn't there when I went in. Yeah, I found your letter. And he reaches over and he takes the letter from Porel, and it's like a sheet of paper. And he kind of grabs the edges and sort of rubs them together, rubs his fingers together. And the paper begins to like fold out from itself and then fold back in and creates this very stylized but simplistic like key shape.
Oh. And then
And
he says, "You have lost your touch."
yeah, it's been a long time, Porel. I'm not
Mhm.
familiar with this anymore. And he goes over to the danger room wall and begins unclasping it.
No.
Do not
do that.
Why not?
We shoved the broken centipede back in there, but we don't know what it's gonna do.
You shoved it back in?
Yeah,
Oh.
to like the dark place that it came from. Oh, also, we have... I don't know what effect this will have on the rest of the space, but we have been treating it kind of like a toilet.
Yeah, it's true.
We didn't know where to put that stuff. So
Your house didn't have a bathroom in it, so we were shitting outside for a while. But then we killed the centipede, and it was this darkness just became toilet zone.
So you've never been outside the servants' quarters?
it's a
Sorry.
servant's
So
quarter.
this is another foyer situation.
Yeah.
He looks around. Look, there's a kitchenette,
Yes.
Yeah.
little sitting area.
This is the nicest house I've ever lived in.
Yeah.
This is literally for the staff to relax in. He opens the clasp and he pulls back the flap and reveals, like, what does he reveal? What's the room on the other side?
I mean, I'm picturing the Harry Potter thing. It's vaulted ceilings with like blankets and like just
Like a fireplace.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
It's
a blanket fort.
there's like a spiral staircase that goes
Spiral
up to
staircase.
another story.
yeah.
Oh,
Another
yeah.
floor.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
observatory sort
Yeah,
of thing.
like a
Night
big-
sky watchery.
It's definitely got like, and I like
Thick wooden beams.
Abdul's, it's a blanket fort. It's got a blanket fort vibe on the
Oh.
outsides of it, but
Yeah.
then like
Yeah.
inside, it's like a very fine living space.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I love the idea that it is this like vaulted room
Mhm.
made out of like the material of the tent.
Yeah.
But it's like you look up and it's like the spiral staircase goes up to a telescope and it's the night sky.
Oh, I love that.
That's
Yeah.
very cool.
It's kind of like, you know how like Jasmine's room in the Aladdin where it's like kind of indoor outdoor vibe.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the study / observatory. This is but one of many rooms that I designed for the fanny pack.
There's more?
This was designed to be a portable palace.
Ving's legs give out. He needs to sit down.
Tuck catches Ving.
He goes like this. Oh,
He goes, and Tuck goes,
it's waving his face. Oh my god.
Ving.
Billy waves some smelling salts under Ving's nose.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
Your fingers fucking reek, Billy. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Sorry.
No, they wake me up.
It's the cheese.
Oh my god.
And Perel is walking around looking at this, taking it all in. There's like, there's the spiral staircase that goes up to the observatory. There's a balcony up there. There's like huge library shelves
Hmm.
Whoa.
with books on them. And there's like tables and chairs and what looks like a little bar area.
Oh, I like that he picks up a book and throws it up in the air and lands on the ground and poof, pops out into a giant tent. Like some of these books are also
yeah.
like you can just take these out
To
and
like
they
the
could be
other
like
rooms?
homes. Yeah, one of them you can pop them into a handsome
He goes, they're pop-up books.
I like that a lot.
I
Yeah.
love pop-up books.
This place was going to be, this was going to change everything until, people decided that maybe it wasn't worth having us around anymore.
Didn't you make this so that you guys could just like fuck off and leave?
Make what?
Wasn't like the fanny pack part of like the waywalking project? You needed this to be able to live outside of the universe.
No, this was a separate project of mine. The extraplanar evacuation project was different. It was a success, but a failure. Let's maybe take it from the beginning. How did I get here? Is that question one?
Yes.
All right. And he stands and he grabs a couple books off the shelves and he throws them in front of them, and they all just like become like chairs that he stands around, like in a semicircle around him, and then he takes another and he throws it in front of him and it becomes a lectern.
Cool.
All right, please, if you don't mind, take a seat.
Tuck goes and sits down.
And he reaches over and he grabs a couple other books and he throws one like further away from you that unfolds into like made of paper and leather, like a butler.
Whoa.
Oh, cool.
With
That's so cute.
with a tray of like little like cups and plates
Oh, Billy's standing up on the chair like, oh boy.
that as you're
boy.
watching, they fill themselves with various liquids and foods.
Oh, cool.
And the paper butler, you hear like shuffles over to you.
Billy grabs the throw blanket and tucks it into his collar like a bib.
A full blanket
Yeah.
that covers his entire body.
Yeah.
Just his arms coming out.
Like a Snuggie.
Yeah. And the paper butler hands out, food and drink. And whatever you take off the tray, you find is whatever you wanted in that moment.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
Tuck takes a thing and it's Ox's blood.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't had it in a long time.
Yeah.
And then he's wedged, because these are, those university type seats where it's
with the desk thing?
the desk folds up and
Yeah.
over. So he's like too big for it. So he's like trying to wedge himself in and then pull the desk up, but he wrenches it off. He's like, all right. These are really small.
Just settle in. Settle in. And then as you kind
Okay.
of stop fighting the chair, you feel it. Yeah, you feel it unfold a little bit more underneath you
Okay.
to become more comfortable.
Thank you.
And Billy's actually folds in a little bit.
Yeah, it's made a little
Like a
baby
tray.
chair.
Yeah, totally. Like a high chair.
chair.
It rises up a little bit so
Uh-huh.
you're eye level with the adults.
Mhm.
Yeah, and has a little tray.
Vince pops out like a lazy boy. Oh my
Ooh.
God. My
Feet up.
Feet up.
Impressive, right?
Amazing. Is this a lemon snow cone? I haven't had one of these since I was a kid.
It's whatever you asked it to be.
Wow.
There's a lot of dirty cubes of beets and turnips, and then
Raw?
Dirty
yeah,
cubes?
they're raw, and then a pot of honey.
Yeah.
Oh, honeypot.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
there is more. The butler keeps dropping off like little samples of things.
Yeah.
He goes
So-
to walk and you're like, oh,
There's quarter of an egg sandwich, and
A quarter of an
yeah,
egg
he pulls a
sandwich.
little small amount of
Yeah.
sandwich, and then
it's like a quarter of a really big egg sandwich.
But magically a full egg sandwich was generated and then
Yes.
the quarter was removed.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then he has a gravy to go with it,
Mhm.
and then he has a chicken soup with gravy to go with it,
Mhm.
and
So there's two separate kinds of
Yeah.
gravy.
Yeah.
he has pudding.
Uh-huh.
Savory pudding and sweet pudding.
Yeah, savory and sweet. Rice pudding as well, sweet.
And Morris is just watching this.
And an apple that's cut up.
This is beautiful. This is like a stress test. This is amazing.
I've never had someone so hungry try and use the golem before.
It's incredible.
There's those like pouches that babies drink from, like
The
the
goo
smoothie,
bags?
the goo bag. There's a couple goo bags. He really likes those.
Yeah.
The table keeps getting big, flipping in and out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
And loose Cheerios.
this is, I mean, please, as much as you want. I want to see if there's an upper limit to this.
You sure you want to see more?
The page can bring you whatever you want.
It's called a page? That's great.
I came up with that while you guys were talking.
That's so cool.
Right.
Yeah.
Pizza toppings.
Just the top.
Yeah. Why am I going to waste my time with the crust?
Oh my God. You brought it up so sheepishly and then defended it so vehemently.
Yeah.
This is just, it's literally like a programmer making a program that is like, I've thought of everything I could, and then a user interacting with it and doing the weirdest shit possible.
So it's just a bowl
Just the toppings.
with marinara sauce,
Yeah,
cheese, and
He
vegetables.
brought a pizza, and he slid the toppings off onto a plate for Billy. And then now
you
there's
brought a full pizza?
and then now there's a little plate with spaghetti and meatballs that Billy's eating with just his hands,
Wow.
and a side of cheese, grated cheese. that Billy's also eating with his hands. There's puffs of cheese. Like,
This is just.
It's been just 10 minutes. We all sat down and we're done our drinks.
Oh yeah. And he came by and was like, "You guys want?" No, I'm good. I'm good.
Maggie and Perel, who very notably did not sit down or accept any food or drink, have been watching this so long that they got thirsty. So they both grab a drink.
there's
Ving's doing that thing where he's eating like the bottom of a pizza. He is eating a three-quarters of an egg salad sandwich.
you
Yes.
just got the mom meal
Yes.
from.
Yeah, the leftovers.
He's eating some marinated beans.
I haven't even seen some of these foods before.
Borscht.
Borscht, I am familiar with borscht, yeah.
And then just a handful of like garden weeds.
Yeah.
Like for a palate cleanser.
I wish I could speak to the conjurer that designed this spell for me.
Billy is like, his eyes are glazed over at this point.
Oh, he's
Okay,
he's done.
We should probably.
I think he's done now.
I mean,
yeah.
I think he could go further, if I'm being honest.
I could go
when he eats the
further.
weeds, he's done. Yeah.
Right, the weeds are an indication that you're at your like fairy,
Right.
the fairy
Oh.
hunger is
Yes.
gone.
Like dandelions are starting
Yes.
to come out of his
Right.
head.
Morris, what were you saying?
That was, I can't remember. That was astounding. I basically, what? All right. He's like kind of looking at Perel, but kind of trying not to look at Perel because he can just feel the like rage boiling off of him. I'd like to take this opportunity to answer any of your questions so we can sort of get this out of the way and carry on with our lives. So, yes,
Where did you come from?
where did you go?
Yeah,
Oh.
that.
Were you going for that?
Yeah.
Oh no, I ruined the joke.
That was
No.
great.
I was gonna say, where did you?
I thought of it, but you know what? Because I respect women and their
Wow.
ability to tell jokes, I did not jump on that.
I'm famously a misogynist, and I think that it's time we talk about it.
Because I am an ally.
I'm so glad how you got there. I know it took some time, but thank you.
Yep.
Welcome.
Thanks.
Short answer is I escaped the extraplanar evacuation project using a complicated and difficult application of the thaumic tunneling principle, which allowed me to arrive at a point not of my choosing, connected to work that I have done in the past.
Wait, what do you mean escaped? Were you a prisoner?
Right, I suppose I haven't actually talked to anyone outside of it. The Exodus was not what you may have thought it to be. We were deceived.
By who?
I wish I could answer that, but what I do know, is that we thought that we were leaving a world that no longer wanted us for one of our own design. But it was not a paradise, it was a prison.
Whoa. What was the prison?
It was what we were told. It was a world that we were creating for ourselves. Worlds unto our own, but once we entered, I found I could not leave.
Like you weren't allowed to leave.
I was unable to leave.
Whoa.
It was a one-way hole.
How'd you get back? When'd you get back?
I was there for, I don't know what year it is.
We also don't know what year.
We don't know actually, we do kind of know what year it is.
Right.
We don't know what the calendar is, but we did suggest that the beginning of the show took place in the year 420
Oh.
because we thought it was funny.
No.
Yeah.
So is it like 422 now?
Yeah, it's like 422 on a calendar we haven't established.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about this, 420 is funny, and then if you go 40 years into the past when Mallrats takes place, it's 480. It's the 80s.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Wait, 380s.
380s.
380s,
Yeah, it's the
yeah.
380s
Oh,
during
that's so sick.
Mallrats, so it's the 420s right now.
Oh, cool.
We are in the what would it be called? Like ages. I like coming up
Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
ages.
Yeah.
I feel like it's maybe
second
two.
grieving or something. You know what I mean?
So I know in my mind the grieving took place at least 1,000 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're maybe like 2 ages past the death of Rian.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's what it is. It's the third age.
Well, what's the steps of grieving? Not that we have to abide by
right,
that.
yeah,
but-
like anger, bargaining, acceptance.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We are, I guess it's depression now.
That makes
That
sense.
makes
The
sense. that we're
Great
in a
Depression.
Yeah.
The world's in a Great Depression.
Great Depression.
It makes sense. The year 22.
Yeah, totally.
And also,
The most depressing year.
And it's like all technology is gone.
Yeah.
Everybody lives in like an apocalypse.
yeah, potatoes are worth a lot.
There are wars starting to pop up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Third age of grieving.
I like the third age of grieving,
I like it too.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
which is also called like the depression.
But like the wizard stuff in the golden age was all the last like couple hundred years.
But the grieving happened a long time ago, right? So it was like that was the war itself was the grieving, and then whatever came after it was the second age of grieving,
Mhm.
which ended in like the golden age of technology,
Mhm.
and then the third age of grieving is
Like
the
post-
apocalypse. Yeah.
Post Exodus.
Yeah.
Cool. So when you tell him that it's 422, he is kind of like wide-eyed. I was in there for over 90 years. I've only been out for a month, 2 months.
Oh wow.
Oh.
It's been hard to keep track of time. The first few weeks probably after I escaped, I was not myself.
How so?
It felt like I'd been dumped into a freezing lake, like something had been torn away from me.
Oh.
Whatever has happened in the last 90 years, something is missing, and my lack of connection to it disoriented me greatly. And Perel steps forward and says, what happened is they fucking killed us, Morris. All of you left, and the ones that were left behind were wiped out.
There's like a silence.
Yeah.
I'm like twiddling my thumbs, like, this is awkward. My grandparents are fighting.
You're a cup falling.
Yeah. my
So
my
loud.
sippy cup.
It's so loud.
Yeah.
it hits the ground and then like bounces a bunch. Like,
Uh-huh.
clack, 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 clack,
It's
clack.
clanging for so
ping,
long.
ping, ping, ping.
And then when it's done, sorry.
And after the sorry, the silence continues to stretch.
And then Billy goes,
And there's just the occasional like shh, shh, as the page starts to move and Morris holds his hand up.
and then Billy starts drinking from his sippy cup again.
The page is shuffling uncomfortably. Like
It's like adjusting its like origami
It's
vest.
really crisp shirt.
It's basically doing Rodney Dangerfield. Like, ugh.
Yeah, I
It's
should say this thing is basically made of really crisp shirts. Like
Yeah.
it's all folds and flat planes. So it's just like shk, sk.
it's a thermic construct, and even it is uncomfortable.
It shouldn't have emotion.
palatable in here.
And then I wave the page over.
Shh, shh, shh.
Can I see a menu? Do you have a menu?
And it reaches
Do you
into
guys
it.
have a happy hour?
It reaches into its coat and produces a menu made of the same paper that it's made of.
And I take it and I glance furtively over at the standoff between Perel and
And I guess they've just been staring at each other.
I wonder if they can read minds.
They're communicating telepathically.
I say that to Ving
Yeah.
really loud. Well, it's only loud because it's so quiet.
No, we can't read minds, Billy. He's just not fucking saying anything. I don't know what to say. I can't believe it. How did this happen? What do you mean, how did this happen? Says Perel. Now I'm fucking audiobook mode.
hell yeah.
Ving has got a big bowl of popcorn. This is awesome.
The strength of wizards was never in our magic, and you know that. It was in our unity. It was in the gathering, the community. And when wizards first broke that, we were left defenseless. We were on our own. Aquaria almost died. I was in prison for 100 years. And where were you? I was trapped. Perel, I was trapped. I made that world for us. I said in the letter, I was making it for the three of us. We could have lived there forever and been happy forever. But I couldn't come back. And Perel thinks for a second, says, I didn't realize I didn't get that from the letter. I said in the letter, I was going to show you that I was sorry I had to leave, but I would show you that it was all worth it. What do you think I meant by that? I don't know. I found a letter from you for the first time. I read your words for the first time in what felt like a millennia, and I didn't know what they meant, and I was angry, and I was sad. Did you really try to come back? And he doesn't even look sad. He like slams his hands on the lectern a little bit. He's like, of course I did. Why? How could I abandon you? Why would I do that? Why did you think that of me? I didn't know what to think of you at that point. Honestly, this Wizard's First stuff, it feels like it got in your head and it turned you into someone that I didn't know and that I didn't like. And I thought that this was just sort of the final twist. The final twist of the knife was you leaving. And Morris, like grunts and kind of like sniffs a little bit and kind of coughs. And he's like, all right, well, I didn't leave. Now, do you have any more questions? Did you get your menu?
He says it so derisively.
Yes. Oh man, he's just
Oh, I'm so mad.
He says it like Gordon Ramsay. Did you get your fucking menu?
You donut.
Yeah, I got the menu.
All right, let's crack on. You got any questions? Let's get them out now.
Oh, do we like discern or Spout Lore?
Oh,
or
yeah, I
anything
guess-
about these?
Yeah, I mean, you could discern realities or Spout Lore, I suppose. I mean, maybe each of you gets one question. That's what
Yeah.
we'll do.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do we have to roll for it?
Do we get Spout Lore, or do we get a question?
Spout Lore about it, and that will determine how much Morris actually knows.
Oh,
Right.
cool.
Smart.
Love it.
okay.
Okay, so who's going first? Who's got a question?
I want to know what Morris knows about the man behind the plan of Wizards First. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Wizards First sold this idea of like the extraplanar Exodus project as a paradise, turned out to be a prison. I want to know if Morris knows who was the person who was actually pulling the strings on Wizards First.
Oh, I see.
All right, I'll Spout Lore.
Yeah.
Here we go.
First roll of the game.
First roll of the game.
Get 12. Get 12. 12.
Shit, 4.
4. And you know what? This is perfect because so he knows plenty about the people that were involved in Wizards First. As a movement, it formed in the early days of what would become the Wizard War. As we sort of came to realize that humanity, the mortal people, didn't appreciate what we added to society, everything that we could do and everything they needed from us. A natural and understandable resentment grew amongst wizards as we realized that people that should have considered us their betters saw themselves as having power over us, the most powerful beings on the planet. But I was but a piece of a project. The membership of Wizards First was in the dozens. Easily 3 dozen wizards working in concert on a task and project that had never been conceived or considered before. Clearly, there were ulterior motives amongst some of the membership, or perhaps an outside force, but I was too focused on my work to have the safeguards necessary to see the trickery that existed at the heart of the movement.
Were you alone in the prison?
Yes.
What? You weren't in contact with the other wizards that were...
No, part of the project was that we would create worlds for ourselves, self-contained universes. I realize now that the key to this plan may have been to separate and isolate us.
Oh.
If we were able to work together, we may have been able to break out sooner. But unfortunately, I was alone, and frankly mad for a number of decades,
Whoa.
coming in and out of consciousness and in and out of reality. And it wasn't until I was able to regain my senses that I was able to work on escaping. And who's next for question?
I want to know what he came to Adernach's tower for.
Mm-hmm.
What is he looking for?
Yeah, totally. So 2d6 plus intelligence.
11.
11.
Oh, I'm
Holy
so smart.
Interesting and
Wow.
useful.
Yeah.
The delta between our average
I
rolls is
know.
fucking crazy.
I think
really
it's because
funny.
Billy ate so much, so his brain is like on all. Just
He's
is on.
He's finally got all the nourishment he needs.
It's on a different plane of existence.
Exactly.
His eyes are facing different directions. He's connected to the overmind. The food baby has
Yeah.
arrived.
You're the food baby.
Yeah, Billy's the
I am food baby.
like floating with your fingers like this, but there's like corn dogs in your
Oh, yeah.
connecting
Yeah.
your thumbs and your
He's got little
Middle fingers.
raspberries on the ends of
Yes.
his fingertips.
some bugles maybe.
Yeah.
When I was able to escape, I came out in my own tower and immediately was disoriented, as I said, from the lack of, I'm realizing now, connection to the thaumic field that wizards cast over the world. Rather than use my natural gifts to get where I needed to go to find others, I used back doors that I had built into various towers that I'd worked on. I realized as I left my tower to the next that I was unable. I attempted to return the same way and ended up somewhere else. So something's broken down with the way that my work connects to one another. It seems like it is a unreliable method of transport. So I found myself jumping from place to place, hoping that I would find someone.
Hoping that you would find your way home.
Wait, is that a song
What's
lyric?
this? What?
Text says, you're jumping from place to place, helping out people whenever you can, hoping that the next jump will be the one that takes you home.
Quantum leap.
Deep.
Doing these quantum leaps. Because you said you did a kind of quantum tunneling.
It felt like a thaumic tunneling, yeah.
Yep.
Thaumic leap. Doing these thaumic leaps references to a show that the person doing my voice is not super familiar with. But I became wary and cautious, focusing most on my survival. So I stopped making quite as many jumps, and I've only been leaving places when I've been forced to.
What forced you out?
Just kind of overstaying my welcome, so to speak. Some places have stores or places to conjure food. Some places I would accidentally break the spell necessary for clean water, for example.
Oh.
And I was, I hesitate to say afraid, but definitely cautious of leaving.
That's okay if you're afraid.
I was not afraid.
But sometimes we're all afraid, and that's where real bravery comes in. You gotta be afraid first to be brave.
Some, perhaps, but not me.
You're wrong.
And as this back and forth is happening, Tuck is snuck up behind Morris, and then he goes,
And he actually,
He folds out his existence for a second.
he does. He tenses, he folds up like a piece of cardboard and then unfolds somewhere else in the room.
Oh, that's pretty fun.
I was not afraid. That was a natural defensive instinct developed over many years by a professional and skilled wizard.
So you came here because you were like, I'm hungry. I'm gonna see what Adernach's got.
I wish that I could tell you that I had deliberately came to this tower, but anytime I moved, I was rolling the dice, taking
Cool.
a crapshoot, ending up somewhere I'd worked before.
I see.
Otherwise, I would have been at Aquarius Tower this whole time.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Aw.
Oh, he's been going from like tower to tower.
Mhm.
Some of those towers are probably vaults.
Oh yeah, and he wouldn't know what hotspots are
Yeah, no.
because he hadn't seen them. That's probably what it is. Like coming back to this world where magic is so sparse but also like aggressive in some spots was
Mhm.
probably really disorienting.
I feel
Right.
like where he's folding in and out because he's one of the engineers of the place. Hotspots are where he's folding in and out.
Oh, that's a really good point. So if he's going from place to place and where he's ending up is where hotspots are, even if he doesn't realize that,
Yeah.
he's being, for lack of a better term, recharged really erratically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So his magic is probably all over the place, which explains why he isn't able to direct it.
And it also explains why he's like kind of looks sort of fucked up because he's like being exposed to radiation all the time, basically.
And he seems a little off. Like it seems like he's like kind of jumpy and he's distracted a lot.
Because he went crazy, he said.
For a while,
Because he was in solitary confinement for 100 years.
Yeah.
Like Perel.
Well, Perel at least had this like, he's only energy state. You know what I mean? Like he could probably tune out.
Oh yeah, he probably wasn't fully conscious at all.
Yeah, until the wards started to break. That's probably when he started becoming conscious again. But Morris had to be conscious for 90 years.
He was in personhood that whole time.
And Perel didn't really gain consciousness until he kind of was infiltrating Billy's mind.
Totally.
So
Right.
He was sort of reconnecting at that point.
Mm-hmm. And even then he was mad because he was like, Pilar was still a part of him at that point.
I like that he was using Billy's phase, the Fae part of Billy, through the Fae part of Billy's connection to his wanting to be rooted in this boy.
Yeah.
Like Billy's like really deep connection to the human boy.
Yeah, because the same way that Billy has used the boy to come into the world, Perel used the boy to come into the world as well.
But also, holy shit, I never even thought about this. But because Billy was a fairy, even when Billy didn't remember being a fairy, he was able to use Billy's like mercurial like way walking to sort of leave that thalamic prison and enter a sort of midway state.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
We've talked about how the three overlap a bit.
Yeah. And
totally.
I think we've suggested that the place that Billy met Perel for the first time was in the ferry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
That's so fucking cool. Our show is so cool.
It's fucking sick.
God, we're good at this.
Because the fairy realm is also a constructed realm that the fairies made, so it has its own rules.
Yeah. I was just, because I was thinking that like the Exodus project was probably like a construction site with a bunch of like contractors that are like, these are the plans. This is what we're going to do. And then the fairy is just like a tree house that a bunch of kids like slap together.
It's always like that. Yeah.
So cool.
Where the nails are alive.
All these nails have names, unfortunately. All right. You get a question.
Ving wants to know knowing what you know now, and in this place and who you are, and reconnecting with Perel, and here we all are together.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to do? 4.
No.
4. Then I think the answer is not good. So what do I want to do? That's an interesting question. It's one that I have had many answers for over the nearly century that I was trapped. First, I think the answer was I wanted to be free. And then I wanted to be with the ones that I loved. And then for a long time, I wanted to be a horse. And then I wanted to be free of the horse dream.
Tuck's like street kid instinct kicks in here. Because it's like when you're on the street, you get like really used to like being like,
who's dangerous?
Yeah, like, oh, that guy is not okay. I gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
And so like really imperceptibly, Tuck like leans back in his chair and puts his hand on TLC. Because he's like,
Ving sees this.
This just became wrong. Yeah.
And then for a long time, I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know who I was. And once I remembered who I was, I remembered that I was Morris Wadge, master of arcane architecture, lord over time and space. And now that I'm back and I know what's been done, I want to right what's been wrong. This world would fall apart without us, and it sounds like it has.
Tuck looks over and he notices that Morris, he was like where he's gripping the lectern. His hand is bleeding
Oh.
because he's holding it so tight.
Mm-hmm. And now I have a question for you all. Will you help me
Help you what?
put things right?
I mean, we're kind of trying to do that already right now.
Excellent. He like lifts his hands up and you see like blood dripping
like
from his right hand.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, he's like got his fist clenched and it's like leaking between his fingers.
And Tuck goes, "Oh God, he's DiCaprio."
Excellent. Then the next step is to find others. Free the remaining wizards. If Perel was imprisoned, that suggests that there are others.
Well,
Prell's not really a wizard anymore.
Yeah.
He's kind of a was wizard.
What do you
He's a wuzzard right now.
burn.
What do you mean? Perry, what do they mean? And Perel steps forward and gets up off the like post that he was leaning on. That's all stacked books in a spiral. It's true. I don't have my magic anymore. And Morris, his face clouds. He's like, "What do you mean? What happened?"
Tuck knows what happened, and every muscle tenses in his body.
Who did this to you? Nobody did it to me. It was a necessity. Look, I didn't take my imprisonment well either. When I was released by these three, they saved me. A part of me was released as well that represented all the times that I'd gone too far. And I'm a better man now. But that part of me wanted its power back and tried to take me. And these three saved me. And as a consequence, I am currently without my magic, but we're working on a solution.
So, yeah, I mean, Morris, I sense the tension.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, that's why we came to the tower, because we were hoping...
This tower would lead us to the clues to help our friend, your friend, get his power back.
Perel, you said as a consequence. As a consequence of what?
As a consequence of him killing me, we simply made him a safer person to be around.
What do you mean you made? And you feel the room start to scrunch in around you.
Billy slides out of the high chair and like takes the blanket off. He's like, "Well, that was a really nice lunch. Thank you so much. We can answer your questions outside of the tent."
And out of the corner of your eye, Tuck, you see Maggie kind of start sidestepping around like the other side that you guys are on. And you can see her hand like going to her belt where she's got a dagger. And Perel starts walking forward with his hands up. She's like, "Morris, stay calm. It's okay. Everything's all right." What do you guys do?
I don't want to fight Morris.
No, you don't.
No, I don't know if we can. In here, at least.
Mm-hmm.
I have an idea. So I rolled the Spout Lore, right?
Yeah.
And he said that he didn't know who was behind the Exodus Project. And I have fount of knowledge. Which means if nobody knows about a thing, I take a +1 on a Spout Lore against it.
Interesting.
So I want to Spout Lore on who the fuck was actually behind Wizards First and was behind imprisoning and taking all of these wizards off the board.
And taking the blanket of magic from the world.
Yeah, because I think I know.
Mm-hmm. I think you know too.
Yeah. And I want to take a +1 forward, which means it's a flat 2d6 roll.
I want to hear it.
Yeah.
I want to see this.
Yeah. Because if I can figure it out, then I can give him a different target. I can give him a different thing to be mad at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where it's like, instead of fighting us and like humans, fight the actual person who took you away from your family.
Yeah.
Just redirect his anger.
All right. 2d6 plus 0.
Jesus fucking Christ.
No, that's fine. It's good.
Yeah, this is not a pivotal roll at all.
Nah.
It's moments like this that I wish we fudged rolls on this show.
We can.
We're not going to. No, we cannot.
Gonna get a 12. Feeling it's a 12.
6.
Great. Aid.
8.
100% I'll aid.
Okay, 2d6 plus bond.
Coming in. +1. 9.
Yes.
Okay, so that makes it a 7. Okay. All right. Well, I think that Tux probably put some pieces together.
Yeah, he's back in the Pizza Hut.
We're back.
Pizza Hut Palace?
Yeah, he's back in the Pizza Hut
Palace.
Yeah, and he's sitting there eating a pizzone.
And there's a version of Tuck with a backwards hat and like a tank top and board shorts at a Mortal Kombat machine.
Yeah.
Just so our listeners who maybe haven't heard the other episodes are aware, this is like being John Malkovich for Tuck to go into his mind and figure out what he's actually thinking about.
He always goes to a sit-down Pizza Hut.
And he talks to a version of himself, and everyone in the Pizza Hut is different versions of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one's playing Mortal Kombat.
And the guy, he's got his mouth full of dessert pizza, and he's just like, it's obviously a fucking gibbous man, dude. And then it's like, he's out of the pizza. That's just instantly. That was it. And it's just like, it's fucking gibbous man.
Oh my God.
Obviously.
We spent all that bus fare getting to the Pizza Palace just to get
Slam.
to get a 3-word answer and then leave.
Just drinks a 7-Up. Get the fuck out of here. We're closed.
I'm trying to kill Melina.
And then slam back to the Fanny Palace.
And
No.
That's not going to work.
I thought that's what we called it.
and then Tuck goes, Fanny Palace. And Tuck, he picks up TLC and in his mind lets them know that they need to like pump out as much spirit energy as possible. And he walks up to Morris and he takes the bag of obsidian coins that he has and he's like, I know you're mad and I know you want to take it out on somebody, but I think I know the person who orchestrated this whole thing. You should take it out on the person who made all of this happen, not on the people that were manipulated into fighting each other. And then he like tosses the bag of coins at Morris.
And they'll spill out of the bag.
There is a guy walking around the world giving these things out. He runs an organization called the Dark Guard. They've been making big moves to change the world into a realm that will house icons more easily. And the first step of that was getting the wizards off the map. So I don't think you want revenge against us. I think you want revenge against Gibbous, because he's the one that kicked all of this off.
2d6 plus charisma.
And it's, I guess the parlay is, I'll give you this information.
And okay, actually, sorry. Remember with parlay, if you get a 7 to 9, they need concrete assurance.
Okay, how about the parlay is, we'll help you kill the Gibbous man.
Oh, smart.
Yeah.
Smart
Yeah.
move.
Because we've been looking for the Dark Guard too.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, we've got like our list of priorities.
Yeah.
Mostly this season was a boat trip, but we did mean to kill the Dark Guard. When we left the library, we said we were going to find the Dark Guard.
I
I
tried.
keep stacking very important tasks.
I tried.
I think I have a
keeping it
price on my head.
Oh, you do. Oh, and you're supposed to kill your dad.
Yeah.
Or you die.
No, that's like priority number 2 right now. Yeah.
A big seal wants to kill you.
Oh, yeah.
That's the low. That's
Who cares?
Can we cut to like what Stone Eye is doing right now?
Oh, and he has built a shrine. There's like he's painting things on the inside of a sea cave.
Oh yeah,
Totally.
He's looking at a picture of Ving like it's crouched
In
on
the
a beach.
candlelight.
Yeah.
He's like ceremonially draped in kelp. He's like painting his face.
Yeah, like he's got war paint underneath
Yeah.
his eyes. There's like 2 Selkies like standing 10 feet away that are like, he's really going off the deep end.
He's lost a lot of weight.
I swear by the salt of the sea,
By the old gods in the new.
That's pretty cool.
stones at the base of the world, I will get my vengeance. And then you guys are just back here like,
You guys remember that foyer? Jesus. That was fucking.
Nice.
Wow.
all right, 2d6 plus charisma.
And I'm rolling the bone dice.
Don't fuck it up.
No,
It's
nobody
high
fucks
risk.
bone dice.
Yeah, because if this fails, I'm going to have to kill Morris.
If this fails, we have a new villain.
Yeah.
Potentially.
So bone dice.
Bone dice.
5.
5 plus 3 is 8.
Okay.
Okay.
Consult a sage. Sounding board on an aid.
Oh, does that let you give a plus 2?
Plus 2 forward.
Whoa.
On a spout lore or discern realities.
Okay.
Oh, this would have been for the previous thing, not this thing. Because this is a parlay.
Everyone's studying their sheets.
Oh.
I
This
didn't
is
even know
so-
I had sheets into this moment.
This is so rare that you guys are like,
That we actually read.
Can I
It's
use my
only.
armor?
It's always only in the final episode of a season.
I know. Technically, you have weed. you can share the weed with him, which gives you a bonus on parlay,
Like it does
and
give
then
you-
someone can aid you
As the
in
standoff
smoking the weed.
As the standoff is happening, Ving throws weed.
Yeah, totally.
Heads up.
I mean, what's the worst? What's the scenario here? Is that you're honestly you're just offering to help him?
I'm offering to help him, and I think I know what the concrete assurance I can give him is.
Okay.
I could use bardic lore,
Oh.
and to like the concrete assurance is to figure out who the gibbous man is,
yeah.
like get him from it, and then give him that, and that's the concrete assurance.
Have you asked a question about the gibbous man before?
I don't think so.
Is it something that you can't use if you've asked?
When it's the
Before?
first, so the way it reads is when you first encounter an important creature, location, or item, your call covered by your bardic lore,
Oh.
you can ask the GM any one question about it. The GM will answer truthfully. The GM may ask you what legend, song, or tale you heard that information in.
I honestly don't think we've ever, like, in game at least, talked about the gibbous man.
No, not really.
Yeah.
I don't think we have.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we should explain what the gibbous man is for the listeners that
Yeah.
maybe
Oh.
don't have access to the bonus stuff.
So in the song "The Thief and the Maid," which played at the end of season 6, the gibbous man is referenced as a similarly ancient figure to Lillian,
Mm-hmm.
who was responsible for capturing Lillian and trying to bind her in some way until she was freed by chimes.
Yeah.
So that is what we know about the gibbous man. Then we also know that the gibbous man, or a figure we assume to be the gibbous man, was responsible for recruiting Roth of the Magi.
Right, because we saw that vision when he was dying.
And that's really all we know.
Didn't we also know the thing that we got from Farhan, who was the torch,
Mhm.
was that there was an outside force directing the demon of zealotry.
Yes, and that the Dark Guard might not be the demons.
Oh.
And also, don't we know, or it's like suggested in like text that he's like a warlock? Is that what they are talking about when they talk about like Lillian's tomb?
Yeah, I think there is a connection to warlocks that is unclear.
His nature is unclear, but we do know that he looks like a man wearing a big hat.
Yeah.
Like
He's
kind
like
of
a kindly old man.
yeah, with like a kindly aspect.
Yeah, and
All
like
black?
Yeah.
traveling clothes
He's
and
got-
like a staff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's just like walks the world. He kind of looks like the like classic depiction of Odin, but old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Odin, like the Wanderer.
The
Odin
Wanderer,
looks
the guy
fucking
with
cool.
the big hat and the
Do you have
staff.
one eye then?
No, I think
no.
I think he looks like Odin, but he's got both of his eyes and no beard.
Right,
Like
yeah.
he's clean shaven.
What if his eyes are black? Oh, I want him to have beard.
Okay, beard and black eyes. That's cool.
I think it's like he can disguise himself to look normal because
Yeah.
he comes as a kindly man to help.
That might not be his true
Yeah.
nature. I think in art he's been depicted, in old art he's been depicted as wearing all black with black eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Very
saw-
manipulative person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the photos were like black eyes or like one black, one blue.
Oh, I like two different like he
Yeah.
has
One black, one blue makes perfect sense.
he has heterochromia. Yeah.
Well, I mean, is it heterochromia or is it full eye? Like his
Oh.
in his kindly forms he's depicted as having
heterochromia.
yeah, but
Mhm.
like in his true form it's a full blue and a full black eye.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that for the day and night.
Right.
Sky blue.
Because he's the gibbous. He is both the dark and the light. Like he is.
He's the sliver of light,
Yeah.
Mhm.
right? Because the gibbous is
Yeah.
very right before the full and the new.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Hmm?
Because there are two gibbuses too. There's
Yes.
the waxing gibbous and the waning gibbous.
I think
Depending what
that
he's doing.
there's twins.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
I feel like we're right on the edge of something that I want to say.
Oh, I want
but
to hear it.
I feel like I wanted to hold on to this for a long time.
we're almost done.
It's the dice,
Yeah.
man. The dice decide.
Okay. So there are some depictions and some. Wait, what are you asking?
I want you to tell me the thing that you were gonna say.
No, I want you to. I want you to ask me a question.
I think the question we're circling around is like, what is the gibbous man? Because that's the unknown. Like he's likely in charge of the Dark Guard. We know the Dark Guard's vague plans and like the consequences that will have on the different realms.
Mhm.
But I think like the question is like, what is the gibbous man and what is his end game here?
Pretty good question.
What is the gibbous man? What is his end game? But all one question. No,
Nope.
no
You
punctuation.
get one
Yeah.
or the other.
No, if you don't add any commas or anything like that, it's
Yeah.
just one question.
What is the gibbous man?
So the gibbous man.
And what is his end game?
And where does he come from? Where does he go?
Where do you come from, Gunna Joe?
Nice try, fucker.
Mm.
The gibbous man. Like based on your like year of research at the Margani Library.
Well, maybe it's not like it, I did a year of research and then from the mists of my mind, a song returns.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Exactly. So the references to the gibbous man are few and far between. But references to beings of similar aspect you found more common early on in the early ages of the world. And based on songs and art and writings that you've found throughout your time, you think that the gibbous man must be a name that was given to this person at some point by some culture,
Mm-hmm.
but not the only name. You would think, based on his connections to the Dark Guard and his connections to warlocks and demons and the references to Lillian, that he is of multiple aspects, realms. He seems to be, based on depictions, of the blue of day and the dark of night, and the connections to giants and the obsidian coins and the iconic realm and the outer dark lead you to one conclusion. The gibbous man is the god of the sky.
Oh.
And that's where we're going to end it for this week.
Oh,
I'm your game master, Shawn O'Hara. Joining me as always, playing Tacoma Dome the Barbarian, Abdul Aziz.
so long.
Playing Ving the Half-Elf Druid, Paul Oppers.
Oh, bye.
Playing Fat Billy the Halfling Thief, Jessica Ty.
So cool. Bye.
Thank you to Aaron Reed for our intro and outro music. You can find all of Aaron's music at aaronreed.bandcamp.com. You can find all of the music that he composed for Spout Lore, written by Abdullah and myself, at SoundCloud. Just Google Spout Lore SoundCloud. That'll do it. This show is only possible thanks to supporters on Patreon. If you would like to support us, you can find us at patreon.com/spoutlore or spoutlore.com/money, please, to get access to a whole whack of bonus content, a whole campaign set in the High Spear Mall starring the Cool Treat Kids, postcards, monthly video streams, and a bunch of other writing and content that you're going to fucking love. I can tell already. I can feel it coming through the headphones. You're going to love it. And thank you, finally, and most of all, to you for listening.
And so ends the tale of adventures three who tried the best they can. Though dumb and scared and lost they be, for times abreast in revelry. And though our journey may be like a conclusion, we will not leave you without a resolution. Return next week to hear some more whilst you commute or do your chores. And for you, I'd gladly spout more.
Is that a satisfying answer?
I think
Yeah.
that was a great answer.
Who else do we know of gods?
Well, we know that the sky god was the father of the god of the god of the flame.
Oh.
Yeah. That's why
That-
Sky God was the first god we ever talked about.
That you talk.
Yeah.
About.
And the god of the flame.
So two people were, the story goes, two people were copulating in a field.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, nice.
and under the blue sky of day and a bolt of lightning.
Put your headphones on just so I can use this just in
Yeah.
case.
Copulating in a field under the blue sky of day in McCall many years ago, and a bolt of lightning struck down and blessed their union, and the child that was conceived there became the god of the flame.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So was the father the guy in the field, or was the father the
lightning bolt.
The lightning
Welcome
bolt?
to Christianity.
Wow, it's the lightning bolt.
It's a great
Nice.
question.
Oh, it's definitely the lightning bolt.
So yeah, that's the thing with the god of the flame is his like it's always been, is he man, is he god,
Like
what is he
Hercules.
truly? Yeah, exactly. He is kind of a demigod in a way, but
Yeah, his
Yeah.
like his vibe is Hercules.
Wow.
Yeah. Hercules and like King Solomon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The god of the flame is Hercules. You mean Gibbous man is Hercules?
No, the god
No.
of the flame.
Yeah.
The gibbous man would be more like Zeus.
This makes so much sense because if the moon is falling in love with a mortal, of course the sky is going to be like, "Excuse me, how dare you like try to leave
Right.
our realm?" So he locks her up because he's like, "You're mine. You don't
Right.
get to leave."
If he is the god of the sky, that
Yeah.
means Lillian is his daughter.
Yes.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, like that. I guess the origin myth of the god of the flame, if that's true,
Mhm.
suggests that Lillian and the god of the flame would kind of be different
Children?
classifications,
Right.
Yes.
but like
that's what I'm thinking.
similar parentage,
Mhm.
quote unquote parentage.
Yeah. Shit.
And I guess, yeah, and parentage can in some ways work a little differently too.
Oh yeah, we're talking like myths here.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
this is not necessarily like, hi, I'm the gibbous man.
No, I
This
know.
is Lillian's mom, Sheila. We're not together anymore, but you know, we're trying to co-parent.
Yeah. She's with Glorgug.
She's with Glorgug, Lord of Destruction from a separate sphere. You know, whatever.
That's really cool.
Lord of the Sky.
The Fable and Folly Network, where fiction producers flourish.
Hi, we're the narrators of Midst.
What's Midst? It's very simple. It's a weird, surrealist, fourth-wall-breaking, reality-bending science fantasy space western about a small doomed planet floating in a cosmic ocean of spooky darkness.
Upon whose alien landscape an ensemble cast of characters, including a crotchety outlaw, a freakishly virtuous cultist, and a diabolical businessman, make awful decisions and fight like hell to survive when the moon falls out of the sky and a large number of terrible things happen in rapid succession.
It's exciting, it's funny, it's scary. It's got neat sound, weird music, amazing visuals, and every episode comes with bonus content you can read and examine.
Midst is performed solely by yours truly, as the three of us narrate all the action, play all of the characters, and bend a lot of the rules about how telling stories is normally supposed to work.
Midst is pretty fun, very strange, and it feels like VR for your brain.
We believe you'll enjoy it, or maybe you won't, but there's really only one way to find out. You're gonna have to listen to Midst.
Spout Lore is proudly a Spout Lore Studios production.
A podcast for best friends by best friends.